When the thought of grades in school come to mind, what do you immediately begin thinking of? Does your stomach begin to churn hearing the words grades in school together? For most, their heads begin to spin and the stress begins to dramatically build. But why is that? Is it because you can immediately recall the mutual cramped schedules, the sleepless nights, and the overwhelming amount of pressure for high grades? Most students will say yes. In today's rapidly growing society where high grades are tremendously valued, students are being bombarded with countless responsibilities. But the race is only just beginning. From schoolwork to assignments to tests and even exams, students all across the world are experiencing a constant strain or pressure perhaps to get good grades. In fact, we followed several students in a local secondary school in Markham, Ontario to have their thoughts in regards to this social academic issue we know as pressure for grades. On a scale from 1 to 10, how much pressure do you feel you have for your grades, whether it be from peers, teachers, parents, the media, family members, etc.?
Solid 10 for sure.
At the moment, I'm 9-ish, but I know for a fact it'll get harder.
Definitely a 10.
And why exactly do you think there is an incredibly large pressure to achieve good grades in high school or even school in general, whether it be secondary, elementary, university, college, or any continuing education?
The development and advancement of technology, I guess.
Well, education's one of those things that has no limit. Similar to the universe, it keeps expanding and there's only so much that we know of it. Even to the curriculum and expectations, for example, it never gets easier. It changes frequently because new concepts are being discovered.
We then asked students to describe how they felt when it comes to coping with this stress or compulsion almost for high grades.
A norm for me. Wake up every morning at 5, review my homework, and prepare for any last-minute studies. Get all my notes and textbooks ready, and as soon as I step out of my house, realizing where I'm headed, I feel my heart beginning to beat faster than before.
Step foot through the school doors, I often feel like I'm about to throw up. Really because I know that every day progressively becomes harder, and then the day prior, especially in the whole academic scenario.
It's like I know what I'm getting myself into. I know that it is no longer an option to do good, but it has become an obligation to do exceedingly well and get the highest possible grade. If that doesn't happen, you're screwed.
I grew up with the mentality that I have to be the best at everything, whether it be a sport, an activity, anything. But my parents constantly emphasize that I need good grades. I need to be the top of my class.
A recent 2013 provincial survey shows young Canadians are suffering from rising levels of anxiety, stress, depression, and even suicide, all relative to the pressure in schools for grades. So, ultimately, are teenagers under too much pressure again for good grades? And when is it too much?
As students, we have too many responsibilities as it is, and the pressure we have for grades is like a cherry on top, but not in a good sense. In fact, it has come to the extent where it is too overwhelming for students and they have resulted in change, since they feel as if their best interest is to always succeed.
And as you rightfully said, where do you feel that this pressure or strain has initiated or sparked from?
Society has evolved in a way that everyone is trying to get into college, university, or even the workplace. Kids are doing a bit too much nowadays, but it's generally to keep up with the level of competition. However, I personally believe that the level has gone a little bit too high, and now people are afraid of what other people think and are doing everything in their power to be perceived as very bright.
It's now to the degree that even if I wanted help with something, my friend wouldn't even want to help, because they're so determined and caught up and trying to be smarter than everyone else. They want to be the best for themselves, almost as if displaying greed and selfishness. Then again, they're not solely to blame.
Thanks, Rafi. I appreciate that. I think it's cool for them to see all this stuff because the first time I was like, oh yeah.
There's so much access to everything that people feel obligated to have everything.
How do you feel about your overall marks right now?
I feel that I'm doing good, but I think I could do way better since I want to go into medicine when I grow up, and getting a 90 average isn't good enough if you want to go into medicine, and I want to go to Stanford, so I need at least a 95, and I need to work way harder if I want to go into medicine. And and even in front of my teachers, if I'm not smart, there's like this favoring system. So if I'm not smart in front of them, like especially for my French teacher, I'm not good in French. It's not my area of strength. But because I'm not good, my French teacher thinks lower of me, and she hates me practically, and she doesn't help me at all. So in all of those areas, I think getting higher marks is stressful. All children and all students, they need a limited amount of pressure to actually do well. But if you're having pressure from all angles, it just throws you overboard and you get really stressed out sometimes. And I actually want to be smart. But if it was just myself, I wouldn't be stressed about it. It's something that I'd like to do because I want to get good grades. It's something that I want to do. But because I'm getting pressure from all different angles, I'm kind of